Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to make a kind of final closeout video on my Whoop. So I've had this now for 2 years. Actually, my membership, I bought a 2-year membership 2 years ago, and it's actually ending sometime this month actually. I bought it like, when did I buy it? I bought it right around the holidays, but then I got a month credit for doing some stuff, and I got another month credit because someone used my affiliate link. So, needless to say, it's ending sometime in January. So I thought I would do a final kind of 2-year analysis, good, bad, am I renewing it? So I'll make this kind of short and simple. I am not renewing my membership. I'm moving on. So if that was the main thing you wanted to know, you got it. But I'll kind of talk about more of the reasons why and kind of the good and the bad. So I'll kind of highlight the good parts about the Whoop first. I think that by far the biggest thing I liked about the Whoop is the UI. So the UI is awesome. It's very clean. It gives you just what you need. I don't feel like I was missing anything, and nor did I feel like there was too much. Like, I'm a huge Garmin fan, and one of the things about Garmin, although they've got it better, is it just gives you, I think, too much information. It's a little too clunky of an app. It's gotten better, I think, but I think Whoop just nailed the UI. The UI to me and the Whoop is probably the best UI of a fitness device. So kudos to that. Definitely enjoyed using and checking the stats. I thought it was very accurate too. I mean, obviously I'm just comparing it to my Garmin, but they were usually pretty well in sync. I kind of felt like what it said is what I felt like in terms of like your recovery, your strain. I felt like it was pretty applicable. So I did feel like it was pretty accurate with sleep tracking. So overall, I think the UI was great. The hardware technology, I think, is pretty good on it. No complaints on it. You know, for a smaller device, it does a lot. You know, one thing that I loved about it was it did skin temperature, which Garmin actually just started with their newest watches. So this has already had it, which was pretty cool. Skin temperature actually I found very helpful for sickness prediction, which, by the way, this did a great job of actually recognizing and sometimes in a way kind of predicting that I'm getting sick, more so than the Garmin did. And that's because of skin temperature. It would detect when your skin temperature gets elevated, and kind of it would catch things, which I found pretty cool with that sensor. So I thought that the hardware in this little device is pretty good. The battery life could be a little better. It was a little disappointing, but I'd get about maybe 5 days of use, 6 days, which for no screen or anything, you would think it'd be a little better. I mean, considering that, like, if you look at one of these rings, it gets about the same. So the battery obviously is much different, but it's not bad. The charging on the Whoop actually is pretty good, I thought. This wireless charger, at first I wasn't a fan, but it actually grew on me because, you can just slap it on while you're wearing it, and it tops it off pretty quick. Put it on like in, I don't know, 2 hours or so, you're fully topped off. So overall, I didn't find that to be a barrier or a con. It just could have been better. The other thing I like about the Whoop is its flexibility, how you can wear it. I mean, you can wear this on your wrist. I have a bicep band here. I actually created, if you saw some other videos, I created some of my own bands where I wear it around my ankle, which is actually my preferred place to wear it, is around my ankle, just because I don't like having things on my wrist. But they sell clothing, accessories, you can wear it all sorts of places. So that's pretty cool in terms of the ability to wear it different places. And then, yeah, data and accuracy I already covered. So I found that it collects a lot of valuable data, and I did find it to be pretty accurate, or fairly accurate, given all, it's a relative term, but I was happy with its accuracy. Now, the cons of why I'm not renewing it. By far the biggest is the cost. For 15 to 20 bucks a month, I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's too much for what you're getting, especially on top of that. You know, this is my next one, the hardware design. I hate this proprietary design they did with these weird mechanism. I would have liked it much better if it had lugs and wore like a watch. And then that way you can actually use your own bands and you're not at the mercy of using theirs. Because this is actually my biggest critique of the company. The amount, what they charge for these bands is absurd. And they do that because, I think there are some third market now, but for a long time, you had no choice but to go to them. And these bands aren't the greatest. They're cloth. They get very dingy. I mean, you're sweating into this. You get it wet. It's something that you probably would want to replace, but the cost to replace it is crazy. And I just don't like this kind of weird kind of mechanism that they made this. I would have much rather it be something a little bit more universal. Put like lugs on it and have it be like a watch band, or you can use like a elastic band, but give more flexibility in how to use and wear this. So I wasn't a big fan of that as well. And then the other con for me was its lack of exercise tracking. They do like elliptical, running, walking, kind of your basic aerobic type exercises. But strength training, I think, is a big miss, especially since this company bought the Push Band or whatever it was called, which kind of focused a lot on weightlifting. And they've really done nothing to adopt that into here. They added a strength training app about a year ago, and it's pretty useless, to be honest. It's actually a huge deterrent. I actually still use running as my tracker for fitness. So that way, because when you put in exercise mode, I think it tracks it more accurately than if it's just normal. So I still put it that I'm running when I weight lift, just so I can kind of track it better. But the strength training app on here is horrible. I'd say probably one of the worst, mainly because they force you to design a workout, and I hate that. I can't predict my workout in advance. I don't know if I'm going to do 5 sets or maybe 6 sets or maybe 10 sets. I don't know if maybe, instead of incline bench, I might do decline bench or I might do dumbbells. It's just like, I don't like, I don't have my own gym all to myself where I can just kind of predict everything I'm going to do. Sometimes you do it with, depending on how much time you have, kind of how you're feeling. I'm a little older now, so I'll have, sometimes my shoulder hurts, and on a chest day, maybe that day my shoulder hurts and I can't quite do as many bench press sets as I normally would. So, and here you're kind of stuck because you have to build that workout in advance and kind of follow it, or you can waste time during your workout and try to edit and adjust it, and it sucks. To me, these fitness devices, whether it's Whoop or Garmin, should be aiding and improving your workouts, not distracting you. And you're in a gym for an hour, and 20 minutes of that time is spent fiddling with your device. So, which is kind of the reason I also don't like the Garmin strength app. Although I think the Garmin's a little better because you can still put it into strength training and not have to use like a set workout. But I don't even use that one either. But yeah, so the Whoop strength training tracking is horrible. In terms of execution, I think what they're trying to do with it is great, because that's also a downfall, is that it doesn't give quite the appropriate amount of strain for weight training, because it's tracking your heart rate, and obviously running your heart rate's higher, but weightlifting kind of wears you out differently because it wears out your muscles, so you're sore, so you still need a recovery. So I like that they're trying to give that the proper proper thought, but the way they're doing it is horrible. But so yeah, so needless to say, that's kind of my ultimate summary. So I'm not going to be renewing it. Maybe if the Whoop 5 comes out and there's something very unique about it, I may jump back in, but I'd probably only do it for like a year. I wouldn't do 2 years again. But if the cost was probably half the cost, I'd consider keeping it, because like I said, there are aspects I like about it, particularly how you wear it, because for me, wearing this big watch to bed, I just can't. I have a hard time sleeping with a watch. And that's my biggest problem with Garmin, is I don't quite get good sleep data, because ultimately what I actually have to do, I think I have that here handy. Where is it? So with Garmin, what I'm kind of forced to do is, this is my Forerunner 965, and you can see I put it on a different band, and I actually wear this around my ankle to bed. That's kind of the only way I can really get good sleep data is wearing the Garmin around my ankle, because that doesn't bother me. But on the wrist, it's like 50-50. Some nights I'll be fine. Some nights it just bothers me and I have to take it off. So I love the size of this for sleep tracking is awesome. But again, gosh, this device keeps going to sleep. But cost. So if Whoop ever decides to drop the price to something I think more reasonable, like $10 a month, I'd be interested. Or if you just can buy the hardware and not have to pay a subscription, that also might be consideration. But overall, I'm not renewing it. I don't necessarily not recommend it either. One of the other downfalls of the subscription model is that after about like 6 months of usage, you're kind of gonna get a feel for your body. You're gonna kind of start to know already your fatigue, your recovery, your strain. After a while, you can almost predict it in a way, right? I mean, if you're kind of doing the same workouts, the same kind of routines, eventually you're going to kind of understand and know without even needing this, your recovery, your sleep, all that stuff. So you kind of start to kind of just know it already too. So after like 6 months, a year, you kind of, in a way, know it already. So that's another reason why, I think it's worth trying if you're interested. And by the way, my affiliate link is below. But I don't know, at about the 6-7 month mark, I kind of started, questioning why I bought this for 2 years, where I think like 6 months to a year would have been ample time to kind of really get a feel for it. But like I said, I'd keep it longer if it was more affordable. But yeah. So that is my final verdict on the Whoop 4.0. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next video. Thanks.